What is going on, Laker fans? Appreciate you guys tuning in. We got a little post-game action show tonight. Lakers after taking on the Phoenix Suns, an afternoon game. I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Not exactly the type of game that we were all hoping for. Certainly not the game. I actually felt pretty good about this game. I thought the Lakers, especially once they announced that Bradley Beal's not going, that they'd be in all right shape. Lakers would be okay against the Phoenix Suns, but that is not the case. We got a lot of things to get into. I know for me, I want to spend time talking about the lack of desperation from the Los Angeles Lakers, the way they came out in that first quarter, the role players for the Phoenix Suns versus the role players for the Los Angeles Lakers, a big difference there. Nothing really from the Lakers bench I want to spend some time on. I heard a lot of people talking in the post-game show a little bit about the free throw disparity. Lakers only shot 8 free throws. Got to be honest with you. I think that's just a little bit of an excuse from my perspective, my opinion. James Worthy had some interesting stuff after the game that we're going to spend some time on. And Sammy, who's working in the background, for those who don't know, Sammy is an intern here at Hoops Talk. I'm going to get his thoughts on the game as well in just a little bit. If you guys got comments and thoughts, feel free to put it in. I'll do my best to get to it. If you have anything on Super Chat, I will 100% read it. If it's the first time you guys have been on the channel, thank you for joining the channel. Either way, if you can please subscribe, I greatly appreciate it. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy, who is a proud partner of the channel and the post-game show here. Did I point it the right way? I think I did, just it wasn't on camera. There it is right up there. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, let me get my thoughts on the game here real quick. So first off, let me just say this. I think from my perspective on this game, nobody needs to sugarcoat anything. This was a very, very important game for the Lakers, for the Suns as well. I'm not discounting that, but this was, I thought, a big swing game for the Lakers. I thought today's game against the Suns was going to tell us a lot about where this team is, where we think it's going. I thought it was going to be a very, very important piece of the puzzle over these last 24 games, now 23 games. So coming into this game, you were going to move in one direction or the other. You were either going to gain ground on the Phoenix Suns and be within 2 games in the loss column. Lakers would have 27 losses. Phoenix would have 25. Or that number 8 spot that you're just trying to get at this 9 or 10 right now, at least that's the goal, that becomes a real mountain. That becomes a real hill. And because the Lakers lost this game, that's exactly what they're facing now. So I think overall for the Lake Show, however you want to slice and dice this game, the hype was there. The hype was real. I don't think I was being too dramatic when I was doing the pregame show on 710 ESPN talking about how important this one is. I don't think anybody out there that is a Laker fan, we were talking about it on Friday after the Lakers beat the San Antonio Spurs, how key this next one was going to be. Yesterday, Sammy ended up putting up a video on just how critical it was in the standings. The Lakers fell flat on their face. Now, was it a game? It was a game. Did the Lakers get the lead, the deficit all the way down to 2? They did. But here's the thing that I don't understand that kind of confuses me with this team sometimes. You would have thought that this game, the last thing the Lakers were going to do was come out and not play with desperation. The last thing, if you'd have told me, and this was one of the things I do this thing called the X Factor in the pregame show, and I'm talking about what's most important. And for the Lakers, I said, get off to a good start. It's always tough in road games. If you get off to a bad start, I'm not saying you got to be up 10 by the time the first quarter is done, but don't be down 10 by the time the first quarter is done, right? Make it a 2, 4, 6-point game at the most, one way or the other. If you're down, make sure you're down by 4 or 5 by the time the first 12 minutes are done. Because the last thing that you want to do is dig yourself a hole against a pretty good Western Conference team that obviously has talent. They're going to get their crowd involved. It's an important game for them as well. And when I say where's the desperation, first quarter, by the time the first quarter is done, number one, at one point they're down 20. Number two, they give up 45 points by the time the first quarter was done. I don't even care what happened the rest of the 3 quarters, the 3 quarters after that, because if you're down 45-28 like the Lakers were by the time the first quarter is done, it is such a battle to come back in those games. Now, maybe you could say, oh, the shot just wasn't falling or they were hitting their shot. It doesn't really matter how you got there. It means that you're down 17. Yes, you still got a lot of time. Yes, teams come back. They could come back down double digits or whatever the case is. But this is why, my title on here is the desperation. The part I don't understand about this Lakers team that's always very, very confusing to me, it is 100% the part of you're on the ropes here. I mean, this is such a critical game, and nobody wants to see the Lakers. I don't think they're going to fall out of the play-in tournament because there's just too many bad teams behind them. But the last thing you're trying to see is they could be in 10th by the time the dust settles today, because you got the Golden State Warriors who are taking on the Denver Nuggets, which I'm sure is going to be a good game and a close game, and I'm sure Golden State will play well. They've been playing a lot better basketball. But that desperation that you think a team like this would have, that would make sure and emphasize that, listen, by the time the first 12 minutes are done, either we hit first and we're up 7 or 8 by the time the first quarter is done, or at worst, it's a couple possession game. Instead, it's 17, and you got to basically dig your way back the entire way. And eventually, you can make a run like the Lakers did. They did go on some runs, but it wasn't enough. And that, to me, was the most frustrating part of this entire game, was that the Lakers dug themselves such a hole. As far as looking at some of the individual players for the Lakers, I thought AD was okay. 22 points, 14 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 blocks, but I didn't really feel AD's presence like I have in the past. I'm going to get to what Yusuf Nurkic did tonight and how Nurkic just basically outplayed Anthony Davis, but I'll do that in a second. Specifically, outplayed him on the glass. LeBron gave you 28 and 12, also had 7 rebounds. D'Lo continues to play pretty good ball, 20 points, 7 assists for him. He was 8 of 14 from the field. I thought Rui was okay, nothing too special. Didn't really impact the game that you were hoping for. And I thought, if you start looking at the role players, look at the role players for the Phoenix Suns versus the role players for the Lakers. So for the Lakers, and especially, I'm going to kind of hit on the Lakers bench here for a quick second. The Lakers bench there wasn't a Lakers bench. Look at the Phoenix Suns, and this is always going to be the key for Phoenix, and this is without Bradley Beal and Eric Gordon. By the way, maybe I'm underestimating the Phoenix Suns a little bit, because from what I've seen so far this year, I have not really been sold on all right, Bradley Beal, you take a shot. Okay, KD, now you take a shot. Okay, Devin Booker, it's your turn. But maybe they got more talent than that, because Bobo is another 11 points for them tonight. I think in the last game he had 20-something. Grayson Allen for them tonight hit 6 threes, had 24 points at zero hesitation, was very aggressive on offense. Royce O'Neal, who might be one of the quieter pickups, Royce O'Neal had 20 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, couple of steals, a couple back-breaking threes for the Phoenix Suns that pretty much put the game on ice. So there's another example of another player out there that made it happen for them. They had a lot of guys chip in, and that's before I even mentioned Nurkic. So forget the KD and Devin Booker part. I didn't think KD or Devin Booker killed the Lakers. I mean, you go look at both of those players, they're 43 points total between the two of them. Now, they were dishing the ball. Kevin Durant, Devin Booker combined, I think, had 16 assists, but it was the role players for the Phoenix Suns that won them this game. I'm going to emphasize this again, and then I'm going to go to Nurkic because I want to get into Nurkic. Royce O'Neal, 20 points, 10 rebounds. By the way, 4 assists. Grayson Allen, 24 points, hit 6 threes, 12 threes between Royce O'Neal and Grayson Allen. Bobo, I mentioned off the bench, gave you 11 points and some key buckets. And then Yusuf Nurkic, 18 points, 22 rebounds, and 7 assists. The role players for the Phoenix Suns won the Phoenix Suns this game. When Bradley Beal comes back and when Eric Gordon comes back, I don't know if the right way to put it is watch out. I mean, I don't know what to describe. I've sold myself that the Phoenix Suns can't make a ton of noise. But the way they beat the Lakers without Devin Booker, without Eric Gordon, and seeing all these other players contributing, maybe I'm wrong on that front. Maybe they do have a lot more that they can contribute in regards to that. Okay, that was the role players. Lakers bench. By the way, I'm going to change this. You know what happens when we lose? Yeah, I'm not superstitious, but let's just try it out. See if it does anything here. Lakers bench, nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean nothing. There wasn't a player on that Lakers bench. Taurean Prince hit a couple of threes, but he was 3 of 10 from the field. Spencer Dinwiddie, I said it in the last game that, guys, I think Dinwiddie is going to be fine. Still think he'll be fine. You got to hit these shots. Guy's getting good looks, critical situations. He was 1 of 5 from the field. He was 1 of 4 from the three-point line and only had 3 points. I mean, Dinwiddie, so far as a Los Angeles Laker, I want to look at this. He's got 3 points, 0 points, and 5 points. And I know people are going to say, Al, he just got here. He did just get here. I'm not telling you that he didn't just get here. I'm just giving you the numbers of since he's been a Los Angeles Laker, what he's done so far. So when did he come? At Utah versus Detroit. How many games has he been here for? I think he's been here for 5 games now. Am I right on that? I think it's been 5 games. He has a 6 points, 7 assists. But I'm going to just show you his percentage. 2 of 6, 4 of 6, 2 of 6, 0 of 6, and 1 of 5. So Dinwiddie's got to be better. That's it. There's no other way to put it. They're going to need more from Spencer Dinwiddie. And he did not, like I said, he had some really good looks today. Couple looks that could have potentially changed the scope of the game, and he didn't hit a shot. So I'm hoping Dinwiddie starts getting it going because that Laker bench has been really, really underwhelming these last couple of games. And unfortunately for the Lakers, they're going to need more from their bench. One more thing I want to get into here before I look at some of the comments. So free throw shooting. Lakers shot a total of 8 free throws. So let me kind of point some things out here on that because that was the theme of a lot of the postgame show. I heard the question get brought up, and it sounded like Darvin Ham, LeBron James, just a couple of those guys, or a couple of the interviews that I heard AD too, talking about the free throws and the free throw disparity. So Lakers shot 8 free throws. Phoenix shot 19 free throws. Phoenix was 18 of 19 from the free throw line. Lakers were 4 of 8. I don't want to make excuses for the Lakers that they didn't get to the free throw line enough. I just don't. I don't want to make excuses that the whistle wasn't called for them. And I'll tell you why I don't want to make those excuses. Because the first quarter is how the Lakers lost the game. Did not play with desperation right out the gate. And the Lakers have had a lot of games where I think the free throw game has been of benefit to them. So I don't want to personally make free throw shooting an excuse, but I did hear Darvin Ham talk a little bit about it and Bron talk about it as well. I think both Bron and AD said there were times that they felt like they got fouled and the foul didn't get called. I don't like the excuse because that's going to happen in every NBA game. And for the Lakers, they also seem like a team that gets a lot of they get a lot of free throws, and it's not like in these games that they play that they don't get opportunities at the free throw line. All right, let's get to some of your guys' comments here. So key game, Lakers lose to the Suns by 10 points, 123 to 113. All right, let me see what you guys got over here. Royce O'Neal was a huge pickup for Phoenix. He had 20. T-Money, I agree. That was a really nice pickup, and there's certain players in the NBA. That just been around the league for a while that you don't have to really worry about their situation or can they hit a big three or can they make the right decision on a team when they know they're just a role player. Royce O'Neal I saw that name being spread around during the buyout market, during the trade deadline, or primarily during the trade deadline, and Royce O'Neal is a really, really nice pickup for the Phoenix Suns. I agree with that. Very nice pickup. 12 threes between Royce O'Neal and Grayson Allen. That's not going to be easy to win games like that. It's Overslee. We're number 10. So currently right now in the standings, yes, because Golden State has yet to play tonight, the Lakers are in the number 10 spot. So this loss percentage points brings them down to the number 10. And I said this a little bit earlier. I really feel like the Lakers are lucky right now that Utah and Houston are just not good, or maybe don't have that much interest of trying to make the playoffs, because Utah's lost 5 in a row. Houston's lost 7 of their last 10. So these teams don't really have much to play for. And the Lakers are fortunate because it looks like a lot of these teams in front of the Lakers are not going anywhere. If you're looking for some luck to go your way, I don't think you're going to get it in front of you. All right, see what else we got here. Very winnable game, but that first quarter, man, really disappointed. Lakers got it all the way down to 2. Couple key misses. I'm going to think of a couple right now. I know Lakers were down 4, and Bron misses a bucket that, if I'm right here, Bron kind of challenges, gets to the rim, misses a bucket that he can typically hit. And I want to say Phoenix hit 2 threes right after that. It was just bang, bang, and whatever momentum that you thought the Lakers had was gone before you knew it. There were moments that were winnable, but to be honest with you, because they had so much control of that game since the first quarter, playing from behind the entire time makes it tough to make it a winnable game. Looks like we're going to be 9th or 10th. Got to hope Vando, Gabe get back with about 10 games left, being good rhythm going to play in. That's the best case scenario. Yeah, I'll tell you this. If we are depending, that's a good point here. Sammy's putting on here. Reeves and Dinwiddie missed corner threes, I believe, when we cut it to 5 in the fourth. So there was another situation right there. Thanks for catching that, Sammy. Okay, so just to go off of this comment right here. If the Lakers, Raheel, if the Lakers are depending on Gabe Vincent, who's played 5 games this year, and Jared Vanderbilt, who we really genuinely have no idea if we're going to see him back or what happens when he gets reevaluated, I don't think you could rely on these guys right now at all. So it's not a good situation to be in if the Lakers are relying on those 2 players, just because of how long they've been out for. All right, let's see what else we got here. Need a coaching staff, a center, and a point guard. Same problem last season. Warriors are rolling, and the Lakers lost a big game this afternoon. Now we are 31-28. LeBron is failing his leadership. Kobe never let their winning record happen with this team. I love how we got to mix in Kobe and Braun in some shape, way, or form. Team's been disappointing. I think it's on all of them, Robert. I really do. I mean, I think to just sit here and say it's only on LeBron, not fair. I think the coaching staff's responsible for a lot of this. I think individual players are responsible for a lot of this. So that portion of it, I will say, I don't always agree, trying to look back and see what would this player have done? What would that player have done? Lakers had losing seasons when Kobe was there. Now, your point about this talented of a team, I get that. I mean, remember, Lakers were just trying to make the playoffs when they had Dwight Howard, Steve Nash, Pau Gasol, Kobe. That's the year Kobe tore his Achilles. So there's a lot of not perfect moments that comes to this. All right, a couple more here. 51-34 rebounding. We need bigs. Yeah, I did hear Anthony Davis talking a little bit after the game that he felt the guard. Some of these other guys, they all got to crash, and he's not wrong in that. They all got to crash the glass. Okay, I got to go back here, and I'm going to give a shout out to our folks over at Underdog Fantasy. So I did this a couple games ago. I think I told you guys that I'm letting you guys make the picks. So all you guys got to do is help me out here. Here are the picks for tonight. There's a game coming up here in a little bit. Just want you guys to pick Kawhi higher or lower than 25.5 points. De'Aaron Fox higher or lower than 26.5 points. And I'm going to basically go with your guys' picks. I will tell you this. The last two people that gave me their picks, I won both times. So this is I'm getting out of the way. I'm just going to let you guys make the picks. And just to give you guys a quick idea how easy this is, Underdog Fantasy, obviously Daily Fantasy Sports. If you use my code HoopsLA, use the code HoopsLA if you don't mind, if you're doing this. I actually, personally, I tell you guys, I wish we had a lot more signups under HoopsLA, but I can't determine that. But I will actually just give you guys what the incentive would be if you play Daily Fantasy Sports. You get a deposit match of up to $100 if you sign up and you use the code HoopsLA. And literally, the last person that we had in the last game, I had Sammy Pulley here. DD got it right with Jalen Brunson on the over and Tatum on the under. So the last two people that we picked got it right. Again, all you guys got to do is just pick higher or lower here, and then I'll take somebody's picks a little bit later and use that code HoopsLA. So I appreciate their partnership on this. Okay, we got Sammy here. This is something we're going to kind of add to the mix here. So, Sammy, first off, you killed it yesterday. I mean, Sammy killed it yesterday. Okay, so I want you to give your thoughts for those who don't know Sammy. So, Sammy is an intern here at Hoops Talk, and he's a student over at San Diego State University. So, he's going to get some school credit and talk some Lakers basketball. So, Sammy, give me your initial thoughts on the game. What did you think? What did you see?
I thought the rebounding was a major problem today. I mean, anyone who's ever played any kind of level of basketball, whether it be at 5 years old, playing high school, college, whatever, I mean, people tell you that rebounding is about heart and who wants it more. And looking at these stats here, the Lakers had 3 offensive rebounds. The Suns had 14. The Lakers had 31 defensive rebounds. The Suns had 37. I mean, I don't understand how you think you're going to go on the road and play a tough team that whooped you last time, and you're going to be out rebounded, really outclassed. Also, I mean, this was surprising to me. The Suns had 15 turnovers, and the Lakers had 12. I thought that the Lakers would have turned the ball over more, but the Suns actually capitalized on it. They ended up getting 26 points off of that, and the Lakers only got 17. So I think it was a lot of missed opportunities tonight. Guys really not hitting shots, as you mentioned earlier. Reeves, 80 got it going late, but was really struggling early. Had 4 points at half, I believe. And Dinwiddie, I mean, people are really looking for him to be a scorer and a leader on this team. And I think he, as you mentioned, he has had 8 points total so far as a Laker, and that just really can't cut it if he's going to get minutes.
Okay, one thing you said, and I'm going to stay on this for a second. The offensive rebounds 14-3, and this, Sammy, is where I get confused. And listen, this is what's great about we're all on the same channel. Everybody's cheering for, the Lakers. But man, is this team frustrating when it comes to look at the standings. Look at how important every single game is. I know you're not going to win every game, but 14-3 in offensive rebounds, like you mentioned, those are killer. Second possessions for teams, that's killer. And you give up 45 points to start the game. So before you even get to the second quarter, in my opinion, the game is virtually over. Can you come back? You can. Lakers cut it all the way down to 2. But if you lose those hustle points, if you lose the coming out the gate and one team's playing a little bit more desperate than others, Lakers have zero margin for error. That part to me was very frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, and also you talk about second chance points. I mean, you talk about a way to get the other team's home crowd involved in a game. And tonight was really a microcosm of the Lakers season, in my opinion. I mean, you come out of the gates, as you just mentioned, get down 17, it was 45-28, and then you have to work all the way back and then get close. And there's times in the middle of this game where you're like, this is the Laker team that we're really excited to see. This is the Laker team that's got a lot of potential, and it looks like the team that went to the Western Conference Finals last year. But then, they can't close. It gets a 95-90 in the fourth. Dinwiddie can't hit a shot. Reeves can't hit a shot. LeBron and AD, this is something that Michael Wilbon mentioned last year, and it sticks with me all the time. I mean, they don't run down the floor. They spend so much time complaining about fouls. And look, I get it. There were some questionable non-calls in this game. But when it was 9 points at the end, AD doesn't run on the floor, and they hang D'Lo out to dry, and the league goes up to 12, and the Lakers lose the game. So I get so tired of them on the other end complaining about fouls instead of running back and actually playing defense and seeing what this team can do.
Sammy, it's a good point. I mean, I think the three you're talking about, I think that was a corner. That was Royce O'Neal's second three that he hit, I want to say, because AD wasn't coming back, and there is a little bit of that. And you know, those two teams, those two players are supposed to set the tone for the Lakers. And if you got LeBron and Anthony Davis, who there are a lot of times, more times than not, where they're looking at a referee and they're bitching and complaining about something, the rest of the team's going to follow. You know, those are your two leaders, so you can't have that happen. Okay, Sammy, I want to read just a couple comments here while I have you with me. David Sabatini, hi on, I'm Sammy's agent. We're looking for a new contract. You know what? I'm going to get that one out of here.
David, I'm available. Well, let's talk.
I don't want to give any thoughts. There. Okay, let me find another one here. Playing team for sure. Maybe first round exit as best way at best. Things looking right now. The West is too stacked to be playing like this. So, okay, Sam, I'll get your thoughts on this one as well. And then and we'll keep going with some of these comments here. So the other thing, you look at the standings now, and we're all looking at the standings. I just don't know how the Lakers are going to catch some of these other teams in front of them. So let me give you an idea. So Phoenix now, 4 games up on the Lakers in the loss column. Sacramento, 5 games up on the Lakers in the loss column. Dallas, 5. New Orleans, 5. The only team that you feel like you can catch is the Warriors. The problem is the Warriors are the team that's surging right now. They've won 8 of their last 10 games. They just beat, obviously the Lakers a couple nights ago. The only good news that I will say is you still get the Warriors twice. You still get Sacramento twice. So at least the 2 teams that are directly in front of you in the standings, you get to play both of them. But I don't have confidence that Lakers are basically going to need to sweep both of those teams, and I don't have too much confidence that that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it off air a little bit. The schedule coming up, you looked at it before today. You got the Nuggets, you got the Clippers, some teams that you can really make some headway with, as you mentioned, the Kings and the Warriors. But, I mean, you just lose to the Suns, and this team is too inconsistent. Like last year, you had a feeling of they were so bad the first half of the year because they didn't have the right pieces. And then when they got it together, it's like, okay, I feel like this team wouldn't even be in this position if they had these pieces all year. And this team has shown us who they are. There's a great quote, I forget who said it, but people show you who they are, believe them. And this team is a team that can beat anybody on any given night and lose to anybody, because it's just, you'd think that like you said, I was so shocked that they came out so flat. You'd think that on a Sunday primetime game against the team that's right in front of you, if you're going to lose the game, it's not going to be because of effort. I see some people talking about Mamba mentality. I mean, that's where I think when that guy was talking about the Kobe comment, like Kobe would never allow the team to play like that. And they may lose, they may have losing seasons, but to be just like looking uninterested and then like, oh, we're down 17, so let's try to come back now. I don't think that that's a winning mindset and something that can carry in the Western Conference playoffs.
Well, it's not. It's definitely not a good start. Okay, I know you're going to be in the background handling some of these comments, so thank you for chiming in here. Also, Sammy is going to continue now to do a little. If you guys didn't see the video yesterday, he's going to help preview some of these games. So the next game the Lakers got is against the Clippers, so look out for that video. It will come out on Tuesday. Sammy, you're the man. Keep doing your thing. All right.
All right. Thank you. All
right. Stay there, buddy. All right, brother. Okay. So we'll keep going here. What's going on here? Lakers are losing. My studio's falling apart. It's not a good day. Just not a good day. I don't know what to tell you guys. Everything's falling apart here. Lakers lose a game, and then, everything else comes unglued. Okay. I got a few other comments that I want to read here, and then I got a couple other thoughts that I want to give everybody. Other fishing channel, agree with you, Slee, about Vando and Gabe. Lakers can't depend on them, especially he hasn't even played, especially Gabe is what I think he was trying to say right there. Been a Laker fan 20 plus years, always have faith, never give up. point for Fisher, but if players can't stay healthy and play that for energy, they go. Listen, here's kind of the funny thing about this, and maybe I am delusional and I still believe things that are probably not true. I still think the Lakers can beat anybody. That actually doesn't even feel good when I'm saying that, so maybe I don't really truly believe that. But conceptually, they can beat anybody. That's the idea. Conceptually, the Lakers can beat anybody. But the reality with this team as well is if you told me right now they were in the number 10 spot, let's just assume that we fast forward and the NBA standings and we're in mid-April and the Lakers need to win 2 games on the road to get to the playoffs. Lakers are not getting to the playoffs. They're just not. I'm sorry. They're too inconsistent of a team. I know that the thought process of kind of how everybody looks at the Lakers and the fact that they've been able to win an NBA championship and they were able last year to get to the Western Conference Finals and they were able to do it with LeBron and Anthony Davis, but they got talent, but what they don't have is consistency. This was a quote James Worthy had. They were talking about the standings on Spectrum Sportsnet, and he said, "You ain't catching nobody." And what he meant by that was based on kind of the positioning the Lakers are in, and it had more to do with unless you're winning games like today, how are you going to go catch some of these other teams? So I definitely understand where he was coming from, what he meant by that. And I think the point was you got a lot of these teams in front of you that you still get a chance to play, but losing against the Phoenix Suns obviously not going to help your chances. We've talked about this before. Look at their month starting in March. By the way, next game they got is against the Clippers, which I'll get to in a second. Look at their month in March. Denver, OKC, Sacramento, Milwaukee, Minnesota, at Sacramento, Golden State. They got so many tough games in March that let's just say they went 500 against those teams. You're like, hey, not bad. You beat Denver, but you lost to OKC. But then you beat Sacramento and you lost to Milwaukee. And you beat Minnesota, but you lost at Sacramento. I'm just using that as an example. You go 500, we only have 23 games left. It doesn't mean you're moving up in the standings, or at least most likely it wouldn't mean that you're moving up in the standings. So I thought that quote was interesting there from James Worthy on that front. All right. What the hell are we doing here, Laker fans? The hell are we doing here? All right, Sammy, I'm going to need your help on this one. Find me the what people thought if we got some comments here on going with the De'Aaron Fox and the Kawhi Leonard over-under. I want to make my picks on that. So, Sammy, write it in the chat if you got anybody. If you want to put your picks in, then you could put your picks in. I'm just going to follow your picks. All you got to do is put higher or lower on Kawhi or De'Aaron Fox, and I'll put those in. So this will actually take me to my next kind of previewing the next game for the Lakers. So Lakers got the Clippers coming up in their next game. So they get 2 days off. No game Monday, no game Tuesday. They got a game coming up on Wednesday against the Clippers. This is a Clippers home game. So Clippers 37-18 on the season. They still got one game before they play the Lakers. So they got a game, if I'm correct, coming up tonight. They do. They got actually Sacramento at home. And if you're a Laker fan, you're rooting for the Sacramento Kings to win this one. You're rooting for the Clippers to win this one. Whether you like it or not, it's better for the Lakers if the Clippers win this game. But they got one game against Sacramento, and then they got this matchup against the Lakers. Look, Clippers were on a roll at a certain part of the season. Now they're playing, let's see, in their last 6 games, they've won 3 and lost 3. Their 3 losses, lost to New Orleans, lost to Minnesota, and lost to Oklahoma City, beat Detroit, beat Golden State, and they beat the Memphis Grizzlies. So they're 3-3 in their last 6 games. I think for a brief second, they had the best record in the Western Conference, and that literally lasted probably less than 24 hours. Minnesota's back on top, Oklahoma City right there with them, and then the Clippers are 2 games back behind those 2 top teams. So it's not getting any easier for the Lakers. Every time it feels like the Lakers go up against the Clippers. Obviously, the games typically mean a lot for the Clippers, and they mean a lot because it's the Lakers and the Clippers, and I get why other teams want to beat the Lakers, especially that. So, with that being said, this is going to be a really, really tough matchup, and it's not going to get any easier. And this is going to be only 2 games left before we close out the month of February. So they got one on Wednesday, one on Thursday, February 29th, actually. And then we'll be into March here. So kind of gives everybody an idea of what it's looking like, gives everybody an idea that the matchups are not getting any easier, and Lakers got some work to do. There's no other way to put it. All right, let me figure out. I want to read off a couple of these here. Really needed AD to step up in this game, but it was one of those games where he was just average. I'm actually not disagreeing with that one at all. I did feel like today was just average from Anthony Davis. I got no issue with somebody stating that. I really don't. Not at all. He was average. Okay, I got a higher and lower on De'Aaron Fox and Kawhi Leonard. So I'm just going to take these picks. Higher there, lower for Kawhi Leonard. Put 20 on that bad boy. Can win 3 times the amount of money. If you play Daily Fantasy Sports, please sign up for Underdog Fantasy. Use that code HoopsLA. There it is. De'Aaron Fox, Kawhi Leonard. We'll go higher. We'll go lower. Good picks, by the way. I like that. Hate when everybody just goes higher. It's like it's not always going to be higher. All right. Sammy tried sneaking in the screen again. Sammy, it's not your time, man. Just relax here. Jesus. Guy gets a little bit of airtime. He's all over it. Okay, a couple more of these comments, and we're going to call tonight. No shooters besides D'Lo. That's kind of crazy. Think about that. D'Lo's been one of the more consistent players for the Lakers for the last almost 2 months now that we've been going. Suns role players, Lakers role players. Not even close tonight. Not even close. How about Nurkic literally had a career night tonight. A career night. Sammy was mentioning this. I actually didn't know it was 14-3 in offensive rebounds. Nurkic is the one grabbing all those. Nurkic isn't supposed to have a better night than Anthony Davis. He had a better night than Anthony Davis. A career night. 22 rebounds and 7 assists on top of his 18 points. Only took 12 shots. 7 of 12 from the field. Nurkic was incredible tonight. But the 2 role players, the 2 sides of it, completely different. Got to figure out the Austin Reeves defensive problem. I don't think it's going to get figured out. I don't think Austin Reeves, it's a lack of effort. I think he's slower than these guys. And it doesn't help when you're going up against Bradley Beal or some of these other guys. I heard, who did I hear saying? It was LeBron saying, I think it was LeBron saying just how tough it is to guard the Suns because you got 2 explosive guys in KD and Devin Booker. Well, what happens when Bradley Beal comes back? I'll tell you what happens. When Bradley Beal came back, that was the last game the Lakers played the Suns at Crypto. Beal had 8 threes, and it was a blowout win for the Phoenix Suns. So that's another, obviously that's another issue for the Lakers, and no excuses for the Lakers based off of that. All right, a couple more comments here, and then we're going to call tonight. Grayson Allen shooting like he was at Duke. Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal, 12 threes between the 2 of those players. Every team in the NBA gets up to play the Lakers. It happens every time each player plays out of their pay scale. Well, we could keep saying that to ourselves. I heard LeBron say something. Royce O'Neal's been struggling. Well, wasn't struggling against the Lakers. And if that means other guys are playing well against the Lakers as well, what's our excuse then? Are we just supposed to keep saying, guys step up and they play harder against the Lakers? I don't think anybody really cares about that. And obviously that's not going to mean too much for the Lake Show when it comes to wins and losses. Lakers lose to the Suns. I put key game here because I really did feel like it was a key one. It was a very, very critical one, an important one for the Lakers, and they didn't make it happen. They end up losing by 10, 123 to 113. Give everyone just a quick idea what I got going on these next couple of days. Tomorrow I'll be back on radio. I don't have my radio Lakers talk show until Tuesday night, so it will not be airing tomorrow. So I'm going to be doing it on Tuesday night. Of course, I'll be doing my show in the mornings with Travis Rogers. So if you guys want to hear us, you can always tune into 710 ESPN. And then I'll be back on Wednesday after the Lakers take on the Clippers. Sammy will be back on Tuesday previewing the Lakers and the Clippers. So thank you for all those who watch that. We're going to keep making him learn some stuff in the background, and he's done a great job so far. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Sorry you can't be off of a win. Lakers lose to the Suns 123 to 113. Laker fans, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Thanks, Laker fans. Appreciate it.